Thank you for tuning in to SCM Connections. My name is Jordan Souvigny. Today I want to talk about the importance of cleansing your data for forecasting. Given both the positive and negative demand shifts which the COVID-19 pandemic has caused in nearly all industries, demand planners need to work out how to account for the historical data for the year of 2020. Today, I will use the forecasting capabilities of IBP to show you how important it is to effectively account for this historical data, as well as a little bit about how IBP can help you do it. In this walkthrough, I have prepared a basic outlier correction, which simply replaces any outliers with the mean of the data set. Either including or excluding steps like these in your data cleansing can have a huge impact on the accuracy of your forecast. To illustrate these effects, we have this sales data here for one product, customer, and location instance, which is meant to simulate a negative level shift in demand, which resulted from the current COVID-19 crisis between calendar week 7 and calendar week 28 of 2020. You can see that they're reflected in the Excel UI chart here in IBP. We have the actual sales data here stored in actuals quantity, and then we have the actuals quantity adjusted key figure, which stores the result of our outlier correction. We then have two separate forecasts run, one which uses the raw sales data as an input, and one which uses the outlier corrected sales data as an input. The first indicator we have of a better forecast comes from this percent error calculation, one for the first forecast and one for the second forecast. Now this compares the ex post forecast to the sales data or the input data. As you can see, viewing our MAPE for both forecasts, using just the raw sales data, we have a 13% MAPE, which is the average of all the percent errors across our 2-year time frame. And then we have an 8% MAPE. Now that 5% increase may not sound like a lot, but given that this data is relatively constant and generally easy to predict, 5% improvement can mean major differences. You can see that in our actual output for the future from our forecast. Using the raw sales data with no correction as an input, our forecast predicted correctly that we would have constant demand going forward, but it predicted a much lower demand than you might think. Taking a look at our data, we could see that for the 2-year time frame, it primarily hovers around 150 to 200 units per week. But looking at the forecast, it's saying that we should expect 97 units of demand per week. Compare this to using the forecast using the adjusted or outlier corrected data. It outputted 144 units per week, which is much closer to that 150 to 200 units per week that we saw over the past 2 years. Now this can definitely make a big impact for a lot of companies, because the demand forecast that it's off like that can cause you to either short your customers because demand was underestimated, or overproduce because demand was overestimated. If you're interested in a more in-depth coverage of outlier correction in IBP, you can check out our 5-minute feature video on this topic. And if you want to learn more about how IBP can help your business react to supply chain chaos, check out our full webinars as well. Thank you for watching.